Python Software Foundation, right? Python Software Foundation. So something about Python Software Foundation before we go with Python versions and installations. Right. It is a non-profit organization, PSF. I'm writing here, PSF. Non-profit organization. Devoted towards Python community, right? Devoted towards Python community. Non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year 2001. The main objective of this right? To foster the development of Python. Version to version to foster the development of Python, right? In the year 2005, right? In the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award, right? President for this, the president for this PSF, the same personality, right? Who developed or who introduced Python, the same personality. President, right? Guido van Rossum. Have you checked your mails, right? They are forwarding the video links, Google Drive links, right, in your mail IDs.
Yeah. Yes.
So have you checked? Have you got that video links of yesterday and day before yesterday? Can you please confirm?
Yeah. So these videos are due to this yesterday's class.
Received, right? Yes. Fine. President is Guido van Rossum, right? Guido van Rossum is the personality who developed or who introduced Python. So he's the same personality who is the president for this PSF, Python Software Foundation president, right? Headquarters. Where are the headquarters, right? Headquarters in Delaware, right? Delaware, US, United States, right? Official website for Python, right? Official website for Python, www.python.org. Python.org, right? This is the official website of Python, from where we can download Python, right? And we can see the documentation for Python for each and every release, right? Python.org, official website for Python. Okay. Next, coming to this Python versions, right? Python versions. Wait for a second. So you can check in your Google Drive shared with me option for that yesterday's video, right? Otherwise, to your mail IDs, right? If you have given that correct mail IDs, you can check your mail IDs. To your mail IDs also, the course, that video links are given. A course content link, video link, that demo link. Even it will be pasted in the chart panel now by the online team. You can also
Vijay, only day before yesterday and on the date of 6th and 7th we have received. 8th I have not received.
through Google Drive.
Yes.
Okay. Now they'll
And
be
what about the notes?
notes. We didn't do anything, right? Up to just we have seen only the basics, just introduction to Python. I'll be forwarding you once we're done with the okay. Notes
Oh.
you'll be getting once you get enrolled into this course, right?
Okay.
Fine. It means the mail IDs will be collected. I'll be forwarding to your mail IDs, and a WhatsApp group will be created, right? But we didn't did anything with the technical content forwarding the notes, right? So once you will get this introductory notes along with that, once we enter into this technical part. You can see that messages from the online team, right? So demo videos link from the YouTube, you can just check this, right? Demo videos link and course content of Python and Django, like only Python course content, Python Django UI course content, right? Fine. So that payment details and process everything. Yes. 1 second. Hold on. Python versions, right? Yes. Python 1.x version. Python 1.x version. It was released in the year 1990, right? Yes. Python 2.x version. It was released in the year 2000, right? Yes. Python 3.x version, right? The version that we are using currently is 3 version, right? It was released in the year 2008, means almost like 14 years ago. It was released 3 version, 3.x version, that what we are using currently, like latest version of Python, latest version of Python, right? Yes. Python 3.10. Python 3.10, right? Yes, latest version. Stable version of Python, stable version, right? Stable version of Python, nothing. Okay, like Python 3.7 is the mostly used version. Stable version is nothing but within the brackets I'm writing mostly used version. Okay. Previous stable version is previously mostly used one, right? Previous stable version is. Python 2.7, right? Okay, Python execution modes. So, okay, before I go with that execution mode, right, let us see the installation of Python. Yes, Python installation. If you want, you can do parallel along with me, right? Python installation, right? Okay. So before I go, right, first I'll show you from the scratch. So first I'll remove this Python from my system, that how to download Python and how to install it, right? So it hardly takes 2 to 3 minutes to install Python. So Python 3.10.6 uninstall, right? Uninstall this, uninstall. So Python is going to provide different softwares for different environments. For Windows separate, for Linux, for Mac OS, right? For Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. for Linux, those who wants to work with Python in Linux environment, no need of any separate installation, right? By default, you see Python as an inbuilt, right? By default, you see Python as the inbuilt within this Linux OS, right? Yes. Okay. On installation in progress. So for Windows also, right? Those who are working for Windows, Python provides different software for Windows also. If your Windows is a 32-bit Windows, 32-bit Python software we need to download. If your Windows is a 64-bit Windows, we need to download 64-bit Python software, right? Yes. Excuse me. Okay. An installation was successful. How will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit means? Go to your desktop, right click on your my PC or computer. So this one, this PC or my computer properties, you can click 64-bit operating systems. What is that? 64-bit operating system, right? Yes. Okay, so we need to download 64-bit Python. So just coming back, so Python installation. So go to this open browser, Google. What is the official website of Python? www.python.org. Python.org is the official website of Python, from where we are going to download Python and installing of Python, right? Python.org is the official website. Okay, you can see this downloads, right? Here you can see PSF, Python Software Foundation, that what we have discussed, right? So Python Software Foundation, Python community, right? It has got sponsorship, memberships, donations, volunteers, right? So if you go back to Python, go to downloads, all releases. Scroll down little bit, scroll down. Don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release, right? Just okay for 3.10.7, just 3 days back, right? 3.10.7, just 3 days ago, a version was released. A new version of Python is released, right? So observe. So all the 20 years, right? From last 20 years, what all the versions released, everything you can see within this, right? All the versions you can see within this. Select this version 3.10.7. Select it, open that version 3.10.7. If you can see, scroll down, you can see that files right at the bottom. So for Mac OS 64-bit universal installer, and for Windows 32-bit and 64-bit, right? For Windows 32-bit and 64-bit. So go for Windows installer 64-bit. Windows installer 64-bit. So your download started, right? Download got started. Yes. So it is 27 MB of size, right? Just 27 MB of size, right? So Python has got 89,300 inbuilt modules, right? Python has got 89,300 inbuilt modules for various domains. So all these 89,300 modules you are not going to get along with the Python software. Only commonly used modules, only the commonly used modules you will be getting along with the Python software. The modules, the other modules, we call them as external modules, which are not part of Python software. We will be downloading and we will be installing later by using a component called pip. Using a component called pip, we will be downloading and we will be installing this, right? Fine. 89,300 modules, if they are included in the Python software, its software size won't be in, right? It will be in GBs of size. If anybody, okay, if anybody working in the Linux environment, right? If anybody working in the Linux environment and already Python will be inbuilt, no need of any separate installation, right? Okay. But if you want the latest version of Python to be installed within this Linux environment, right? If your Linux is a older version, then older version of Python will be installed. So, but if you want the latest version of Python to be installed, right? Then you can just check this. So this is the command for installing sudo apt -get install, right? Python 3.10. This command is going to install Python 3.10 in your Linux environment, right? Just this command is enough. So everything you need to do from the root user, sudo apt -get install Python 3.10. So let me check this download. What's going on? Okay, just meanwhile, right? It's there's an issue with the network, so let it get downloaded. But meanwhile, right? Just I discuss. I'll come back to the installation right. So Python, I'll come back to this install. Okay, Python execution modes. Two modes of execution, right? Interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode. Second is what? Batch mode. So Python provides both the modes, interactive mode and batch mode, for executing these Python statements. 1 second. So interactive mode means directly, yesterday I was showing you, right? Whenever you go to this in the bottom search panel, go to the command prompt by typing cmd, right? And just say Python. Just if you say Python, right? Python interpreter gets open, Python version will be displayed, right? Yes. Okay, 1 second. I'll just come back to this execution mode after this installation. Second. In the case of interactive mode, here we directly type Python statements. We directly type Python statements on the interpreter. And the user can easily interact. With Python statement by statement. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. So if it is Windows 32-bit, if your Windows is a 32-bit, select 32-bit Windows. If it is 64-bit, select 64-bit Python software, right? So just 27 MB of size. Just hardly takes 2 minutes to install, right? Yes. So it's almost done. Download is finished. Now you can just click this exe file or go to the download folder and click that exe file. Click it, you will get a window like this. You are going to get Python window like this, right? So immediately don't go for the installation. Right? Yes. Add Python 3. Just select this. Add Python 3.10 to path. Add Python 3.10 to path, right? Just select it. Just and go for customize installation. Go for customize installation, right? Yes. And nothing to select, everything are pre-selected, right? Everything are pre-selected. So the documentation for Python, pip for installing any other modules, right? Ideally for typing your Python code, test suite, right? Just to say next. So here nothing to select here also, but only thing is see here where is your Python getting installed? Where is your Python getting installed, right? Within the C drive. Users, Dell, app data, local, programs, Python 3.10. These many subdirectories. Tomorrow, if you want to install any module, we need to download all. We need to just specify this entire path. We need to specify this entire path, right? So just remove all this path. Remove this path and try to install Python within the C drive itself, right? Just C/Python 3.10. C/Python 3.10, right? Just install Python within this C drive. And Python 3.10 means 3.10. A folder gets created with the same name, Python 3.10. The same folder. Try to install this, right? Yes. It hardly takes 1 minute to install Python. Once it gets installed, let us check whether it is properly installed or not. Setup was successful. Just to close this, right? Setup was successful. Close this, right? Now, whether it is successfully installed or not, how will you check? Just type CMD in the search panel. Type CMD in the search panel, and just you will get command prompt. Just type Python here. Just type Python and say enter. The Python version that you have installed and the interpreter should be open, right? Yes. Python 3.10.7 on September 5, 2022, right? It was released. See, what is that? Nothing. See here, how we are going to download it, right? Select that version, right? Once again, see, if you go to this, once again check this Python, go to downloads folder, all releases, check it. Don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. In that, go for 3.10.7. 3.10.7, right? You can click this 3.10.7. And after that, scroll down. In that, go to files. In that, Windows installer 64-bit, right? Windows installer 64-bit is there, right? Click it. If you click, your download is going to start automatically. .exe file you will get, not like a RAR file or anything. You will get .exe file. Fine. For Linux, no need of any other installation. So whenever you go to the command prompt, if you type Python, right, you will get this Python version. Python interpreter gets opened. Now you can type any valid Python statements, right, and you can communicate with Python. So x as 10, x into 2, x to the power of 2, 10 square, x equal to Ajay, y equal to Kumar, right? X plus y. Okay. So in this way, you can type any valid Python statements and you can check, right? Your Python is working, it's properly installed, right? Yes. Three point 10.6 also fine. Any version of 3.10 is fine. Okay. So here we have got two modes of executions, interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode, right? Interactive mode. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. The advantage of interactive mode, right? Advantage. To test the functionalities. To test the functionalities of Python. And to learn Python. So if it doesn't have knowledge on any particular functionality, if it doesn't know about any particular functionality, you can just type it on this interactive mode and check what response it is going to provide. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. Okay, but this interactive mode cannot be used for developing applications, right? So for developing applications, only for to test the functionalities. For learning Python, interactive mode works better. But for batch mode or for set of statements, here we write a set of statements. We write batch of statements or set of statements within the editors. Here we write set of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension and save it by using .py extension. We write set of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python right? Yes. We write set of within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension, later submit to Python. What are the various editors? What are the various IDs, right? Various editors where we can write the Python code. What are the various IDs where we can write the Python code, right? Various editors first. Various editors. Notepad. Within the Notepad, you can write Python statements and we can create a Python file. Edit plus. And for Linux, we can go for VI and Nano editor, right? Yes. Notepad, Edit plus, and for Linux, we go for VI and Nano. These are the editors, right, where we can write the Python code and execute. And in real time, we use IDEs, right? Integrated Development Environment. Various IDEs, integrated development environments. Okay. PyCharm, one by one. PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, right? Jupyter Notebook, Atom, and VS Code. So here, so these are the various IDs. You may ask why these many IDs for Python, right? So Anaconda distribution, in Anaconda distribution, we'll be getting all like PyCharm, you will be getting Jupyter, you will be getting VS Code, you will be getting, right? Spider, you will be getting. So it's a distribution. Anaconda is a distribution where we will be getting 4 to 5 IDs within it. So I'll be showing how to work with Anaconda distribution, how to download and how to install. Later, I'll be showing you in different IDs, right? How to work and how to execute your code, how to download, install them, right? So the mostly used one is PyCharm is the mostly used. Mostly used one. PyCharm mostly used, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, Atom ID and VS Code. So here, why these many IDs? You may ask, why these many IDs for Python? Why not one or two IDs? Because Python used for different environments, right? For data science. So for data science, we use models like Jupyter, Spider, right? And for big data, also we use more IDs like Spider, Jupyter, right? And for typical web applications, we use PyCharm, Atom, VS Code, right? Yes. So various IDs. So I'll be showing you about all this downloading, installation, working, and executing on this. First, developing the first Python application, right? Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application. Within a editor, right? Within a editor, right? Yes. Example like Notepad. Just I'll say how to write your code within the Notepad and how to execute, right? Within the Notepad. Notepad is not a Python editor, it's a normal text editor, but there also we can create .py file and submit, right? So open Notepad and type the following code. Just I'll, up to now we didn't discuss anything about Python basics also, right? So just I'll take two values, x as 10, y as 5, y as 4, right? I want print x plus y, print x minus y, x plus y I want, print x minus y I want. X plus y, x minus y, x into y, print x by y, right? Yes. So just I'll just copy this code to a separate notepad file. How to create a .py file, right? Just notepad. So save it. File, save. I created a separate folder for this batch, right? Yesterday I created a separate folder for this Python 8 p.m. batch, right? Python 8 p.m. batch. Sample1.py. Sample1.py, right? It's okay. Save as sample1.py. Submit this file to Python, then submit this file to Python as. Okay, you created a .py file, right? It's in the notepad instead of .txt, and submit this file to Python. For submitting the file to Python, right? Go to the command prompt, cmd, go to the command prompt by typing cmd in the search panel and just type Python. Don't say enter, right? Don't say enter. If you say enter, it will go to interactive mode and submit where your file is available. File path, give the entire path, right? C slash Python 8 p.m. batch. Sample1.py. Just say enter. See 10 plus 4, 10 minus 4, 10 into 4, 10 by 4. Yes, this is what how we write Python statement within the notepad and how we are going to submit it. Right, by typing Python, we are submitting to Python, right? Yes. But here, what is your observation? But here we are writing the code. We are writing the code, right? We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place, right? We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. But to write and execute at the same place, but to write and execute at the same place, to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, right? Which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation. We have ideally which comes along with Python, using which write and execute at the same place. We have ideally which comes along with Python installation, using which we can work with both the modes. Okay. So now just to go to this, right? How to working with ideally. I'll just write this code. How to open this ideally means go where your Python is installed, go to the start programs, check right here. Python 3.10. Click that 3.10. What is the first thing we see? IDLE, Integrated Development Environment, right? Okay, just click this IDLE Python 3.10. Python shell gets opened. Just I'll copy this code, same code, arithmetic operations. Once Python shell get opens, right? We need to say file, new file. File, new file, right? Yes, it opens. Fine. You can write your code and execute the code here itself, right? So here, code I pasted, save it, file, save. Yes. Run module. 10 plus 4, 10 minus 4, 10 into 4, 10 by 4, right? Yes. So here itself we can write the code. Here itself we can run module, right? Here itself we can write. Here itself we can execute the code, right? Yes. In this way, right? So about this IDEs, I'll be discussing separate discussion on that, how to download and how to install it, right? Hope you understood this, everyone, right? Just I was discussing about Python software foundation today. Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes. 2 modes. Okay, so this is what, right? So more discussion will be discussing in the next session, right? So fundamentals of this Python, more on this Python, right? Yes. Tomorrow, everyone fine, right? To take it, to have a session. Can I have a session tomorrow? Actually, for you, it's Monday to Friday only, but as we are going from the last 3-4 days, right? We doesn't want any break. So is it fine to have a class tomorrow or Monday? Everyone try to confirm in the chat panel, right?
Tomorrow it's okay.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow is fine.
Saturday, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to everyone, tomorrow you can
Yes,
attend the
sir.
session.
Yes, tomorrow is fine.
So tomorrow you can attend the session same time at 8 p.m. right? Using the same link to see more on this, right? Yes. So tomorrow you can attend the session. I'll be just discussing about this data types of Python, like fundamentals to Python, right? Yeah, any queries you have got, anyone, as part of today's session? Anything related to the Python, right? Yes.
Sir, one query I just wanted to know that if anyone has installed the older version,
Hmm.
so how can what would you advise? Means should we go for the latest version or how it is?
So in my system, you can check, right, from the last. You can just check for the versions. Multiple versions of Python can be installed. 3.8 is available, 3.9 available, 3.10 available.
Okay, okay,
If I want a 3.10, I will click here and this ideally I'll click 3.10. If I want 3.9, click 3.9 and 3.9 ideally I'll open. 3.8, 3.8 ideally I'll open, right? Yes, and multiple versions can be installed.
okay. No worries. So it is always advisable that always use the latest version, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Very latest version also not recommended,
Okay,
but just 3.9, 3.10, both it's fine, right? 3.10, not a problem. You can go.
okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay, fine. So the sessions, okay, next I'll be entering into this. For every statement, I want more interaction from your side during the sessions, right? I want the live sessions, interactive sessions, right? Fine. So yes, some queries was asked. Are you so teaching JavaScript in detail? See, yes, everything, whatever I discuss, everything will be in detail, right? So not like an, or 1 second. See, whatever that application development, right? 1 second, 1 second. So you can just check this, right? So the previous I said so for only Python, right? If anybody wants only Python core advanced, right? It's just the fee structure is 5K, but just the other things like web development, Django, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, MySQL, right? So just you can see this previous batches. So the applications creations in the, yes, just give me 2 minutes. So you can see this Django apps creations, right? See my project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this way, Django apps creations, nearly 20 will be there for every batch. So you can see any other batch also, right? Django apps 2, another batch. Yes, in this way. And CSS, see this CSS nodes. So this is CSS nodes, right? In brief, it will be in brief.
Sir,
Yes.
both the classes will go simultaneously, or is there option first we complete Python and then go for web development?
That is your choice, right? If you want, you can go parallelly also, or
Okay.
after completion of 10-15 days of your Python course, I'll recommend you to go, right?
Okay. Sir, because I'm new to this,
In the
I
in
don't have
such
any IT background.
in such case, you can go right after 1 month of your Python course, right? You can
Okay,
go.
so there is option for that.
Yes, yes. Say once you get enrolled into my Python course, right, or this Django, right, you
Okay.
can attend any of my course. Means
Okay.
in the future,
Thank
whatever
you.
I'm fine. See, even the notes also, right? It's clear notes for this. 1 second.
One question.
Yes, just give me a minute. So any application, right? If you take any application, step by step, the notes, step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1, activating. Step 2, creating or starting a project. Step 3, starting an application. Step 4, setting start viewer. Step 5, step 6. Step 7, migrate. Step 8, run the server. Step 9, give the request. In this way, step wise, I'll be just giving you this, right, notes. But these things, no need to just everything available in this Django framework itself. Okay, fine. And someone was asking about this JavaScript, right? Everything in brief. JavaScript notes. Right? So JavaScript, everything in brief. So for the previous batch, JavaScript notes part 1, JavaScript notes part 2. This is right. In this way, everything in brief. Yeah. Any other queries?
Hey Vijay, just one question. You are taking PySpark as well, right? I see that PySpark.
Yeah, PySpark, not this next Saturday, right? Next Saturday at 3 p.m. You have got it. It's a weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday 2.5 hours, Sunday 2.5 hours, 5 hours, right? So it's a weekend batch, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. It will be Sunday. Next Saturday it is going to start at 3 p.m. right? So Spark with Python implementation, PySpark, right? So if anybody
Okay.
interested, you can update, right? So
Okay.
that's what.
How long is that course, Vijay?
So like 8 to 10 weekends, right? It's in brief, we'll be discussing on that 8 weekends to 10 weekends.
Okay, got it.
Sir, if we have installed multiple Python versions, then we have to set the configuration Python paths into the environments.
So yes, we need to set the environments path, variable paths for all those. Yes, we need to set it.
Okay.
But while installing only, you'll be saying right, add Python, then only it will be automatically gets added. No need to set right.
Yes.
Explicit. No need to set explicitly. By default, if you select the checkbox before installing, add Python to path, means it will gets added.
Okay.
No need to get separately. No need to install it. Fine. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, Dhananjay this side. I just want to confirm one thing. HTML also included into that course, right?
What is it?
HTML also included into that, right? The Django, CSS, JavaScript, and
Yeah. Everything. Yes. 1 second. So the first category, right? So those who wants only Python, in that Python, I made it into 3: Python core, Python advanced, and application oriented models, and plus, okay, plus if you want, you can just go with this UI technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. Plus Django. Yes.
okay. And how many weeks required to finish all the stuff?
See, only for Python, right? Those who wants only Python, like 70 hours we are spending on it. And for this HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, Django, right?
Yeah.
50 hours. So totally 120 hours required. If you want to go parallelly also, you can go, right? Because when learning Python, you can learn these things, right, in the weekends. Or many other batches will be there of mine. You can just attend those, right? So totally this in brief about this total Python, right? Python and its framework like Django, and this apart from this, I'm going to provide, just now I shared, plus 20 applications creations, 20 plus applications creations, right? So only Python, those who wants only Python, right? It's an offer batch just given for 5K. And this also everything HTML bootstrap Django also it was 5K, but as a combo package you can just it is given for only if you're, let's say, 8K, right? Fine. If you're paying as a single shot, right, it's like 8K. Fine. So you can see the payment process and procedure details, right, in this chart panel, right? The online team has forwarded that payment process and procedures, and also that the course Python and Django course content, only Python course content with demo videos links, right? And also you can make a note of that their mobile, their contact details, right, in the future, like if any video you are not got or if anything you are not got, then contact them, right? Fine. Notes you will be getting, right, once you got enrolled. So all this I'll be forwarding you. Yes. And videos will be getting to your Google Drive, right? Fine. So any other queries, right, anyone? And every session is a video recorded, I said, right? Yes.
You are going to start those batches from this weekend or next weekend?
Which one?
CSS, HTML, Bootstrap, or JavaScript. You are
Not
saying?
not now. Next week, not the coming week. Coming weeks, right?
Coming week.
You'll be intimated, right? Every time you'll be having a WhatsApp group. In your group, it will be posted if anything is started, right? Okay.
I'm really sorry, but I am not, I guess, part of any group.
No, not now. Once you get enrolled on Monday, or
Okay.
next like after 3-4 days, a group will be created.
Got it. Thanks.
Sir, okay, for this programming, can we use some online editor, online compiler?
Yes.
purpose?
Yes. Yeah, Google Colab you can use.
Okay.
Jupyter you can use.
And the programs can be saved over there itself, because I'm using my office laptop. So that should be fine.
So I'll be forwarding you right all that programs, everything to your mail IDs. Okay, you can just exit now. Even Python is a cross-platform language, can be installed on Windows, Linux, Mac OS. If you've got smartphone, right, even you can install Python in your smartphone and type your code and execute your code in your smartphone also, right?
Okay.
Just I'll say that Python, go to your I'll say that how to do that in your mobile phones, right, in the next session. Fine. Yes, if I'm done with your queries, if there are no other queries, right, then I'll sign off for today. Meet you tomorrow same time, 8 p.m. It's with the same link to see more on this, right? Fine. So thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vijay.
Fine.